Україна! 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 Героям України тричі! Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome once more to our lovely Ukrainian protests here, where we tell the world what's going on in this war in Ukraine and how we're going to stop it by stopping the Russian terrorist state. But before we go any further, we'll start this rally, as we always do, with the Ukrainian anthem.
Усміхнеться доля, згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці, запануєм і ми, браття, у своїй сторонці. Тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду. Душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду.
Слава Україні! Слава нації! Україна! 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 Героям України тричі! Ворогам України тричі! My friends, there's been a lot of good news lately in Ukraine. A lot of Russian planes have finally landed for good. But the Russians never miss an opportunity to spread disinformation, to show their defeats, to show their biggest disasters as supposed victories. When the Russians retreat in shame, they say it's a goodwill gesture. When the Russians get beaten up and beaten back into Russia, they say that that was the plan all along. Not joking, my friends, we have spoken with many people who claim that the great Russian defeat near Kyiv, where they got absolutely annihilated by a much inferior force in terms of equipment, that it was all according to plan. That was actually trying to distract the Ukrainians, and they lost thousands and thousands of troops in this very expensive distraction, you might say. It's truly, the Russians use the lives of their troops as currency. And that currency is very unstable, just like the ruble. One day it holds up there, it holds for dear life, and the next day, just like the Russian planes lately. But the Russians have been spreading news that supposedly the last big plane the Ukrainians have downed, last big military plane, in fact, that was circling around the area of the Ukrainian border, that actually had Ukrainian prisoners of war. That's what they're saying. But my friends, we should learn at this point we cannot trust the words of the Russians. As the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And we have learned that if we are fooled 3 times, that the name of the person who's fooling us is Russia. Because Russia continues to use the same exact kind of rhetoric, again and again and again. And some fools continue to fall for it. We must not be part of those individuals who are fooled by the Russian propaganda. My friends, the Russians have done such things in the past. They have destroyed the Olenivka prison, killing hundreds and perhaps thousands of heroic Ukrainian defenders, of the Azovstal defenders, who fought tooth and nail for freedom and for a future for Ukraine. The Russians have killed them all, committing a huge war crime with that. And they have blamed the Ukrainians of doing so. It's the same argument as we've heard many times in the past about the Dambili Bombas stuff. When they say that the Ukrainians were the one who started this war. How? Who invaded who? Did the Ukrainians invade Russia? Or perhaps the Ukrainians were preparing to invade Russia by demilitarizing and by giving up their nuclear arsenal. I mean, it's ingenious, really. Of course, you give up your nuclear arsenal right before an invasion. Truly, Sun Tzu 101, the art of war, according to the Russians, of course. It's not surprising because the Russians have shown sheer incompetence in terms of leading their troops. It's not surprising that some of them would actually believe in this garbage. But we must remember what they did in Olenivka, because they are likely planning to do something similar right now. This plane that has been shot down by the Ukrainians likely does not have any Ukrainian prisoners. We can't know for sure, but it is likely that the Russians will try to murder these prisoners and then dump their bodies nearby and claim that the Ukrainians killed them, to demoralize the Ukrainians, to blame them for something that the Russians have done in reality. Let's not forget about that, my friends. Let's not forget about the times Russia has lied and about how Russia continues to lie right now. They know they are lying. We know they are lying. They know that we know that they are lying. And yet they lie still. They continue to lie. And the only way to stop these lies is for every single one of us to do what needs to be done, to spread this message to the whole world and tell everybody that the only way to stop this war is to stop Russia. Stop Russia, stop the war.
Stop Russia, stop the war.
Thank you very much. Stop Russia, stop the war.
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 Russia is a